Good afternoon. This video is to introduce you to the user interface of AutoCAD. Now in AutoCAD, you're going to start, when you first open the program, you're going to start on a screen that looks just like this. And this right here is where you start drawing. Now you can pull down this little arrow and get various different templates that are preset for certain standards of drawing different things. However, it defaults to AutoCAD.dwt, which is, you can do anything with that one. You don't have to, there's no presets to it, but you can do anything. If you're just going to draw and you don't know exactly what you're going to need, you would start with that one. So all you have to do is come in here and click on Start Drawing. And then you have your user interface to navigate. This letter A here, if I click on letter A and pull down this drop down menu, I get some of the more basic things that you find in just about any software program, such as to open it or start a new file, open an existing file, save as, import and export, publish, print or plot, site workflows, and drawing utilities. This is the quick access toolbar right here where my cursor is now scanning, and it has a lot of the same tools that you have in the application menu, with the exception of you have the additional undo and then the redo buttons. You also have this little pull down arrow or drop down menu between the two, undo and the redo, and that will give you a list of most recent commands that you can actually undo a lot of commands at one time if you need to. This one over here looks like an eject button. You can click on that and it will give you lots of other tools or a few other tools that you can add to the quick access menu bar. Under that is the tab bar. These are all different tabs. Right now I'm on the home tab. I have a set of tools that are unique to the home tab, and if I click on insert, I have another set of tools that are unique to inserting other files into a current drawing. Annotate for putting notes and measurements and symbols and everything else on your drawing, and then of course on and on and on with all these other different tabs. Mostly you'll be working on the home tab. That's where you're going to do your drawings, create your drawings. And on these tabs is what we call a ribbon. This is a ribbon that I'm scanning back and forth on right now. Just like in the other tabs, they all have their own individual ribbons. Within the ribbons, you have these sections which we call panels. This right here is the draw panel, and it has draw written right below it, and there's a line that separates the draw panel from other panels, such as the modify panel. This is where you would change current drawings. You would make changes and modifications to current existing geometry. Annotation tab, our panel, which has a lot of the tools that are under Annotate, like on the Annotate tab, but the annotation panel is kind of a quick use type panel, and it is limited. It won't have as much as the actual Annotate tab does, but you can do the same things from here. You have your layers panel. Layers controls the different layers, controls the colors of your lines based on their layer, and then that would be done through layer properties. And then next to that you have blocks for inserting existing blocks of CAD geometry. And then of course these are a little bit more advanced tools here, but you don't need these really to just get started drawing stuff in AutoCAD. Let's see, under this, of course you saw where the draw panel, the little bar lights up underneath. That's because there's something else in there that you can click on that bar, and it even indicates it by this little drop down arrow. You can click on that and get even more tools for draw panel. Here, more tools for the modify panel, more tools for the annotate panel, and on and on and on. Below that are tabs. These are tabs. This is the Start tab. If you ever need to start a new drawing and you want to start from, say, the beginning screen like we had earlier, you can just click on that, and that's that beginning screen, that Start screen that we had. And you can have several different drawings open at one time. Drawing 1, Drawing 2, Drawing 3. And you can add drawings also this way, just by clicking on that tab, and then it creates a whole new drawing for you. Within the window here, we have our some other navigation tools. Right now, currently, you don't see all of this normally. Mine is defaulted to show some three-dimensional tools, and that's what we're looking at right here, some three-dimensional tools. But you will have something similar to this even in two-dimension space, and this is used to turn your drawing around. You got arrows where you can actually turn the drawing to look at it from different perspectives. And of course, if you're in 3D, you can look at it from top to bottom, sides, and things like that. This is another navigation toolbar here, or more navigation tools. This little thing here is pretty neat, this navigation wheel. You can bring it over here, and whenever you circle around here, and you can, let's say I want to orbit something, I can click and hold orbit, and then I can start orbiting whatever's on the screen. If I want to pan, I can click and hold a pan and move the screen back and forth. Rewind, I've never used that one, so I don't know what it does. Zoom, click down on that, and you can zoom into and out of things. And I personally don't use that part a whole lot. I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts, which you kind of get used to those keyboard shortcuts after a while. And then of course you also have a pan tool here, just like you had on this little wheel here. You have a pan tool, you have a zoom tool, orbit tool, and show motion. I've never played with that myself, so I'm not sure exactly what that does. Down at the bottom you have some more tabs. This is your model tab. That's what you're in currently right now. It's called model space. This is where your drawing takes place. You have these other two default tabs that just pop up. These are layout tabs. You can add more layouts, and actually if you're drawing, designing a building, you would actually end up with several layouts. I mean, you could have hundreds of layouts. But the layouts, basically, this is what it's going to look like on paper. If I click on that, I can see what my drawing is going to look like on paper. And just kind of ignore the graphics here. I don't have my screen set to the proper graphics right now, so some of my graphics show up kind of weird. But you got layout 1, layout 2, and if you draw something, let's say over here, if I just draw a circle, go to layout 1, and here's that circle right here, right there. I didn't really draw it in a good spot so that you can see it well, but everything that you draw shows up over here, and of course you can adjust how that shows up and all that good stuff. This line down here is called the command line. This is where I could type in information to, say, start point and various other points through lines or geometry that I'm drawing. Uses Cartesian coordinates and polar coordinates, and uses both relative and exact coordinates as well. There's actually another name for that, but I forget what it is. Down here is your status bar. This tells you the status of everything. This, of course, is your Cartesian coordinates right here. It gives you a Cartesian coordinate readout. Wherever your mouse is, it gives that particular readout. Snap tools, you can display grid drawing. Of course, if I don't want grids, I can turn that off. Turn on, turn off. This is so that you can snap to grids. I don't use that myself. This is your dynamic input. That's on so that I can type things directly into the where the cursor is at on my screen. So as you see there, I clicked and I can get some dialogue. I can put in dimensions and coordinates and things like that. These are object snap tracking and then object snap. One is tracking and one is the snap itself. You'll be using those a lot, and that's so that your geometry that you can snap on things. Like if I was going to draw a line based on that circle somewhere, see how it just came up with a little center mark here, and then I could snap right onto it. It helps me line up so that my drawings are more accurate. This is just line weights. These over here are pretty complicated what these do, but you'll always have these two on. Dynamic user something interface, something I can't remember what that stands for. User control and user coordinate something system. But you'll always have those two on. Rarely would you do anything without those. This is your scale. These are your settings. You can change some of your menu settings on there, and on and on and on and on. Okay, I know that this video just bored you to death. I'm sorry, but that information will get you started. So now, when we are talking with one another, we'll have a common vocabulary when it comes to talking about using AutoCAD. Okay, that's it for this video.